You gonna behave? Good evening, good evening, good evening. No kisses. This is yours, no kisses. It is a Sunday evening. How is everyone doing? Here, Rex. That's yours, okay? So, we are, where are we? We're a third into the fourth quarter. Kind of, sort of. You know, me and numbers aren't great. But I figured I would come on live tonight and let's kind of discuss some common business mistakes that we're making and then how to fix them so that as we are ending the fourth quarter, we are ending 2023 strong, okay? We want to end 2023 strong because I am a strong believer of momentum. So if we end this year with a bang, that means we can start 2024 on that momentum and keep on going, okay? So when we're talking about common business mistakes, of course, I got to talk about some business structure. So a common business mistake regarding business structure is going to be either number one, doing business with an inactive LLC. So every state requires you to fill out some kind of report, some kind of annual form to keep your LLC active. A lot of times people feel like once I form my LLC, that's all I have to do. And no, you got to form your LLC, and we're going to have to fill out some kind of annual form. Some states require us to pay a fee every year. And that's just to tell the state that, yes, I'm using this LLC and please keep it active. If we are doing business in an LLC that's not active, then we're not really doing business as an LLC. We're doing a business as ourselves. We're going to lose that LLC asset protection. If we lose the LLC asset protection, that means that if something were to go wrong, your house, your car, the money in your bank, your personal assets are now at stake. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're doing business with an active LLC, not an inactive LLC. Another common business mistake when it comes to, business structure will be forming one LLC and then running all of these DBAs underneath one LLC. Let me get my cups. Hold on. Let me get my cups. For some reason, people think if I have an LLC and just get multiple DBAs, that they're having some kind of parent company structure, and that's not what it is, okay? So let's just say I have Joy's Barbecue, and I have Joy's Lashes, and I have Joy's Online Boutique, right? But I only have one LLC. So I have Joy's Lashes, Joy's Barbecue, and then Joy's Online Boutique. If I have one LLC and just get a whole bunch of DBAs for the other businesses, I'm really operating all of my business in one LLC or one big pot of gumbo, okay? Well, what's the problem with that? Well, let's just say that Joy's Barbecue is my main source of income. That's what's paying my personal bills, my mortgage, my car. That's what's, keeping these kids in private school, allowing my wife to be able to be a stay-at-home mom and be a Target and be at brunch with her girls. That's what's funding everything. Well, I decided to start Joy's Lashes, and I accidentally, put too much glue on someone's eyes, and she gets blind and she sues me. Because I'm operating in one LLC, my eyelash client is able to touch the money from Joy's Online Boutique, and she can touch the money from Joy's Barbecue. So she can get everything in this one LLC. If she gets the Joy's Barbecue money, then I'm no longer able to pay my mortgage. I'm no longer able to keep my kids in private school. I'm no longer able to pay my bills, okay? Why do we want a creditor from one business to be able to touch the funds from another business? We don't want that, right? So how we should structure things is every business needs to have its own separate LLC, okay? So I got Joy's Barbecue, Joy's Lashes, and Joy's Online Boutique. So since Joy's Barbecue is the one that's making all the money, I'll put two little things in here. So same scenario, I put too much glue on someone's eye and she sues me. She can only get what Joy's Eyelashes have. Okay, she can't touch Joy's barbecue money, and she can't touch Joy's online boutique money. She can only get what Joy's eyelash business has. Okay, that's why it's so important that every business idea that you have, every business that you're doing, that you separate them, because you don't want another creditor being able to touch another business. Okay, can you operate one LLC and get 8,000 DBAs? You can. You can also buy a car and not have insurance. You can also drive around in your car and not have a seatbelt on. It's just not the best thing to do. So you want to make sure, if you're thinking about, oh my gosh, that's more LLC fees, that's more bank accounts, that's more of a headache. Think about if you're not able to pay your mortgage, right? How happy are you going to be? Rex, this is not for you. How is your home dynamics going to be? How happy is that wife going to be? How much sex are you going to have when you're telling her, baby, we got to leave this home and go to an apartment? Like how much fun are you going to have when she's having to turn in her luxury car and go get this Toyota Corolla? How happy are your kids going to be when they're having to get out of ballet and football and not do any kind of extracurricular activities because we can't afford it because someone's taking all the money? I call this the monkeys around your neck or stress. So the whole reason... Rexy, this is my monkey. Your monkey's in the other room, okay? So the whole reason why we want to have asset protection, the whole reason why we want to separate these things for if or when something happens. And in business, something is going to happen. No matter how great of a business person you are, you may make a mistake, right? Your employee may make a mistake. There may be a misunderstanding regarding contract terms. Something in business is going to happen. That's normal in business. That's why you want to make sure that you are structured correctly. So when something happens, we don't lose it all. When something happens, we can mitigate our loss. Okay, so you want to make sure that number one, you have an active LLC, that you're filing your annual report. Where is your little bone? See, I knew you weren't gonna make it. Rexy, chill out. You're filing your annual report, you're paying your annual fees, and we're not operating under one big pot of gumbo, having one LLC and a whole bunch of DBAs. That's not what we want to do. The third mistake that a lot of business owners make that we want to fix immediately is commingling funds, okay? So business funds should never be going into a personal account. A lot of businesses are taking Cash App or taking Venmo. So I may be at a festival or I may be, somewhere selling my product or my service and I'm having my clients Cash App me, right? Well, if business funds are going into a personal account, that's called commingling funds. And that's one way to lose the asset protection of an LLC, meaning I form my LLC to separate my assets. So my house, my car, the personal money in the bank. I form my LLC so that the LLC and me are separate. So if my business gets sued, it can only touch what the business has. It can't touch my personal assets. If I get the corporate veil pierced, if I don't follow the corporate formalities, then they're going to say there is no separation. You're just one big pot. Okay, we don't want that because now that means that if something were to happen, they can come after your car, your money in the bank. They can come after whatever your personal assets are. No, Rexy, no. So you want to make sure that we're not commingling funds. So business money is not going into your personal account. You want to make sure that your business check card is not paying for personal items. Okay, so we're not paying for our nails, we're not paying for our lashes, we're not going to Disneyland, we're not doing personal expenses out of the business account. Although you and the business may be the same person, you're still separate entities, meaning you are you and the business is separate entities. This is two separate people. So they're going to have two separate bank accounts. It's two separate things. So we're not paying our mortgage out of the business bank account. We're going to just transfer the money to our personal account. And from our personal account, we're going to pay our mortgage. We're not going to pay our personal car note, although we may use our car for the business. If we finance the car in our personal name and that note is, or that debt in our personal name, we're going to just transfer the money from our business account to our personal account. From our personal account, we're going to pay our car note. We're not going to go to Walmart and the kids need snacks, they need food for lunch, and swipe that business card. Although you and your business are technically the same person, you're not. You formed an LLC, so it's two separate people. So you got to act accordingly, okay? So if you start paying big personal expenses out the business account, it's called co-mingling funds. And what will happen is they're going to disregard the LLC, meaning if you were to get sued, they're going to subpoena your bank statements. They are looking for inappropriate transactions. If they find inappropriate transactions, they're going to say, well, although you formed this LLC, you were not following the corporate formalities. Therefore, you don't get the LLC protection. Therefore, now we can come after your home, the money in your personal bank account, any kind of property you own, any kind of vehicles you own, any kind of asset that you personally own, we can now touch that. Okay, so you want to make sure that you keep things separate. A great way to keep things separate is to put your money hat on and run your business like it's Walmart. Okay, if I go to Walmart tomorrow morning, because they are closed now, right? If I go to Walmart tomorrow morning and I forgot my wallet, can I cash app the cashier to pay for my items? No. Can I Venmo the cashier to pay for my items? No. So if Walmart isn't going to do it, then you shouldn't do it, okay? Because a business is a business. We have the same corporate formalities. Whether you are Walmart or Keisha from around the corner, it's the same business rules. A great way to help you with this is to have a POS system or a point of sale system. A system that will one, create invoices for your clients and be able to accept cash and credit card payments. Things like Square, Clover, Stripe, PayPal is one, but PayPal will play with your money, okay? So I really don't advise PayPal, but you want to have some kind of point of sale system. So whether I am selling my product or service at my storefront, I am at a festival selling my product or service, I'm able to send my customer an invoice. I'm able to take that payment in my point of sale system. So I can take a cash payment. I can take a credit card payment. I'll be able to run reports in my point of sale system. So for the month of October, I made so much money and X of that was cash and X of that was credit. I'm able to send my clients an invoice. I'm able to send my clients a receipt. I am running my business just like Walmart. Walmart can take cash. Walmart will take credit cards. Walmart's going to give me a receipt. Okay, so you want to make sure that we're not commingling funds. We're not mixing business and personal funds together. A lot of times people will open up a business and not even have a business bank account. They are running everything through their personal bank account. And that is the first way to be able to lose your LLC protection, the protection that the LLC gives you. Having a point of sale system that's going to make everything cleaner and kind of put you on that mindset of, let me run this correctly. Another mistake that a lot of business owners are going to be making is they're not, although we're in our business and we're running our business, we still need to be working towards becoming an industry expert. The rules are always changing in your industry. There may be new innovative ways to do things. There may be new equipment coming out in your industry. There may be new policies and procedures. There may be new rules. There may be something that can help you achieve the same results in a faster time. You want to make sure that you're dedicating some time to becoming or maintaining being an industry expert. The easiest way to do this is to attend some kind of industry related conference at least every single year. If you have any kind of license, 9 out of 10 times, whoever is the regulatory group over your license requires you to have some kind of continuing education. So if you're a realtor, You got to, have so many hours of, continuing education to keep your realtor license. If you're an attorney, the bar association requires you to, keep up your license. If you're a doctor or a psychologist, but even if you're in trucking, if I'm an online boutique owner, if I do lashes, if I do nails, there is going to be some kind of conference surrounding your industry. You need to be at that conference. Now, Rexy, hold on. Rexy, I'm about to lock you up. You need to be at that conference because number one, you need to be learning what is the new thing, right? One way that you can stay relevant in your industry is that you're always on the new thing. You always have the new technology coming. You always know what's going on in your industry. So a lot of times industries are changing. If you're at these conferences, the industry experts are going to be saying, hey, look out for this, look out for that, look out for this. I don't know how old you guys are, but do you recall when Redbox first came out? When Redbox first came out, it was kind of like a joke. Like, who's about to go to McDonald's and rent a DVD when they can go to Blockbuster? For my little youngies on here, Blockbuster used to be the place to be on a Friday or Saturday night. Blockbuster used to be the number one movie rental place. It's a place full of VHS tapes. They eventually got some DVDs, and you would go to Blockbuster, you would, pay $5 for some snacks, for some popcorn, and you would just walk the whole building, wall to wall, and you would pick up whatever movie you wanted to see for the weekend. That's how you rented movies. There was no Netflix, there was no Amazon Prime, and there was no other way of getting it. Redbox came in and it's like, who's about to go to McDonald's and rent a DVD when you can go to Blockbuster and have all this selection, right? Well, the industry was changing, right? So instead of having to go to one place, Blockbuster, you can then go and as you're running to get food for the evening on your way out, go to this Redbox machine and get a DVD. If you're going to Walgreens or CVS, you can go get you a little Redbox DVD. If you in your pajamas or in your house clothes, you don't have to be shamed walking into an actual store. You can just run right outside of McDonald's, run right outside of CVS or Walgreens in your, night clothes or your lounge clothes and go swipe that good credit card and get you a movie. And it's cheaper than what Blockbuster was renting the movies for. Had the owners of Blockbuster been going to industry conferences seeing, hey, they're talking about a machine that's going to have these DVDs. That means that there is no payroll, at the Redbox machine. So that means that they can charge less for their product. So maybe, I'm old, so I don't know. You could have maybe rented a Blockbuster video maybe like for $5 versus $1 at when Redbox first came out, it was $1. So I can get my movie cheaper at the Redbox and more convenient than being at Blockbuster. Then after Redbox came, that's when Netflix started coming around, Hulu and all that, and it just took the entire Blockbuster industry out, okay? So if you're at these industry conferences, if you're studying your industry, you're going to see what's coming up, what's new, what are the issues, because in business, you have to know how to pivot. No industry stays the same. Okay, so you want to pivot before the industry changes. If you're at a conference back when gas was high, and you're in trucking or transportation or anything that's dealing with, importing, anything that where gas will affect you, hey, this is what's coming. Maybe I need to pivot. Maybe instead of trying to get 4 more trucks for my fleet, if I know that there's something that's changing, there's an issue with oil, maybe I won't get those 4 trucks. Maybe I'm going to use that money and do something else with it. Maybe I'm going to revamp logistics, or maybe I want to go ahead and get out the whole trucking industry with that extra money and start something else. Okay, so going to the conferences are going to help you understand your industry, understand what is the new technology, the new way, the new product, the new whatever. So you're always a step ahead of the competition. I'm a hairstylist, and now all of a sudden these what are these called? These micro links. Like not having to braid someone's hair. I can just, take a micro link and clip on the hair. So girls that have long hair, they don't have to have those braids. Girls that have fine hair, or, other nationalities of people who wear extensions, they don't want their hair braided, because if I have finer texture hair, when those braids get wet, they're going to start to sag, right? So if they're sagging, I'm going to have a disconnect from my leave out to the weave, right? So if I'm learning what is the new way of doing things, when I go back to my hometown, I'm now able to offer that service before anyone else offers. So I'm always one step ahead of the competition. By going to industry conferences, you're also able to have access to who are the industry leaders. Maybe in your town, you are the best of the best, right? But if you're the best of the best, that means that you're the big fish in a small pond, in a small pond. We don't want to be a big fish in a small pond. We want to be a small fish in a big pond, right? So you may be the it's it in your town, in your area, but who's in a bigger area, in a bigger town, who's killing it, right? Because if you're the biggest thing, you're going to get complacent. You're going to get stuck. Like, where's my growth? You're not seeing anyone doing more than you, right? So you got to go see who's doing 2 times, 3 times, 4 times as you. As the CEO of your business, you got to always be expanding the vision of your company, expanding what you're doing as a CEO. What are they doing? Okay, you have 10 trucks. This person has 50 trucks. How do they get 50 trucks? You have 2 locations. They have 10 locations. How do they get 10 locations? You got 5 locations. They have 1 location, but they're making 5 times the money of you. What? So in this industry, brick and mortar is changing and is going online. Like how many clothing stores have closed down because online shopping is just taking off, right? We always hear, all these big Neiman Marcus is struggling. Saks Fifth Avenue is struggling. Everyone is struggling with these brick and mortar stores because online shopping is the key. So if I'm thinking, I'm about to get this money, I'm about to get this loan, I'm about to do 3 locations. Well, baby, do I need to do 3 locations, or do I need to only have maybe I need to have a big warehouse and revamp my online marketing? When you go to these conferences, and if you can afford it, or if you can, make yourself afford it, you need to be getting the VIP seating package, okay? The people making the money are going to be in the VIP area. The VIP area is going to be the people at the front. Whoever is winning the award at the industry is going to be at the front. Whoever is making the most money is going to be at the front. You want to find you a mentor, someone who's killing it in the game, and be able to, network with them, bounce some ideas off of them, hear what their trials and tribulations are. So we ain't got to make the same mistakes, but that's the best way to meet this person, okay, or meet those persons. So, we want to make sure that we're at some kind of industry-related conference, VIP, and so that we are ahead of the game, ahead of the technology, knowing what's going on, and knowing, am I pivoting? Is this the season to scale? Is this the season to sustain? In business, sometimes we aren't always growing. Sometimes we're just trying to, hold everything together. So last year when gas was almost $10 a gallon, if I'm in trucking, I'm not expanding. I'm just trying to hold it together. How can I keep my fleet on board? How can I keep my employees together? How can I just weather this storm? Okay, it's a storm. A storm's not going to last forever. But if I'm in an industry where it's going through a storm, I'm not trying to scale. I'm not trying to increase. I need to keep this reserve to weather the storm. Or is there another industry or another business I'm interested in, or I already have? Let me scale that business, right? So if I have additional resources and I know I'm in a storm in this industry, but I have another business, maybe I'm in, I don't know, online boutique, and everyone's shopping, maybe I'm going to use my extra resources to scale this one because I may need to grow this business to be able to lean on this business as I'm weathering this storm, okay? So, number one, making sure that we make sure that our LLC or corporation is always active, filing the annual report and paying that state fee so that we don't lose the asset protection benefits of the LLC, making sure that we're not combining 8,000 DBAs, in one LLC. We do not want to have a DBA. A DBA stands for doing things. A DBA stands for don't be asked out. A DBA gives you no protection. You do not want a DBA as far as a new business entity. The only reason why you would use a DBA is if you have an LLC and it has a general or a corporate or a boring name and you want to use a fun name. So if my business is Twerk Something Shorty, right? Maybe I have an online dance academy and I'm teaching you all of the new dance moves, right? Well, I may not want the banker knowing that my business is called Twerk Something Shorty because that's a little urban, right? I may not want the whoever I'm trying to get this loan from know that the name of my business is Twerk Something Shorty. So my LLC may be Hunt Enterprises, but I get a DBA, also known in some states as an assumed name or a fictitious name, to be able to do business in Twerk Something Shorty. I can have a real funky logo with Twerk Something Shorty. I can come with a real catchy, slogan with Twerk Something Shorty. I can really market Twerk Something Shorty a lot easier than boring Hunt Holdings or Hunt Enterprises. But when it comes to my banking, my corporate documents, the business world, I may want to look more professional. That's a reason why to have a DBA. But we are not getting one LLC and running 8,000 DBAs, under one LLC. We do not want to commingle funds. So anything out that business account is for business purposes only, and anything in your personal account is for personal things only. We don't want to mix them. Mixing them is going to have us lose our asset protection. We do not want to, we need to know when we need to pivot, when we need to scale, when we need to weather a storm. So going to an industry conference, learning what's new, what's the next thing, meeting people in your industry that are outside of your circle, right? Because if I'm in Texas, they may be doing things totally different in California. They may be doing things totally different in New York. I may get some new ideas from a person who's doing my same thing, but in a totally different state or location, right? Which may kind of spark some things that I can add this or I can do it this way. So making sure as the CEO, you're always staying one step ahead of what's coming, what's going on, what's coming, and that's going to always have you one step ahead of the competition. The third thing, we want to make sure that we're not spending too much money on inventory or certain things in our business without knowing that that's what our clientele wants. A lot of times when we're doing a business, okay, I have a budget for $10,000. We're going to spend that full $10,000 before starting the business, right? So I'm about to have my office set up. I'm about to buy all this inventory of what I think my customer wants. And I'm going to get my website. I'm launching it. And then it's like, although we think, okay, let me break it down. If I'm selling clothes. I got t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hats. I think my t-shirt and sweatshirts are the bomb, and I'll get a couple hats, right? But when I launch my business, everybody wants the hats, and no one's really setting on my t-shirt and sweatshirts. But I only had $10,000 to start. I spent my full 10 on all the inventory. So now I'm sold out of the hats. I have 100 orders for the hats on back order, but I don't have any money to purchase the hats. The t-shirts and sweats are sitting in my in my bedroom collecting dust. I can't give them away. And everyone is complaining about, where's my hat order? I'm about to do a chargeback. Boom, 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 boom. So I'm missing out on money. I'm looking at the money look back at me, but I can't pick it up because I don't have any extra money to go buy the hats. When you're first starting off, or you're launching some kind of product, inventory, service, you want to make sure that you keep some money in your reserves. So start with a little bit and see, although I think this t-shirt is the bomb, everyone's going to want this t-shirt. I'm not the client. I'm not the target audience. When I launch my product, no one may even like the t-shirt, right? So you want to make sure that when you start your business or when you're launching your product or service, keep some money in the reserve. So when the hats take off, I'm able to now go buy some more hats, sell those to get some money so I can keep the hat business going. On these t-shirts and sweatshirts that's just sitting there collecting dust, baby, do a bundle sale. Buy a hat and do a bundle sale, maybe put a hat and a t-shirt together for a discounted price. At this point, I'm just trying to liquidate my cost in this so I can get this back and buy more of what's selling. If my hat is selling, well, shoot, maybe if I have one hat with one saying on it, let me get another hat with a different saying on it. So my same client who bought the first hat, they'll probably buy a second hat. How many people have bought multiple things from the same vendor, right? I like this t-shirt. You have another color. I want that color. You have a dessert. Okay, so maybe you have you are selling some kind of dessert and you have another dessert. I may buy that one. A lot of times it's easier to keep that customer buying multiple things versus just hitting them one time. But if I spend all my money in the beginning on all the inventory without getting my customer feedback, now I'm stuck with these shirts and sweatshirts and I'm having all these chargebacks on all these hat orders, and I don't have any money to use now to go get more inventory. So although as the owner, we think what's going to be hot, we don't know what's going to be hot until the client or our customers actually purchase from us, right? And then our last one is going to be not knowing our numbers, not having these finances together. So if you are a business owner, you're probably an expert in your industry. If you do hair, you are the best barber. You can cut the hair the best. You can, lay that hair the best. If you do nails, you are the best nail tech. If you're a realtor, you can sell a house. You can sell an apartment. You can sell this real estate. But you may not understand finances. You may not understand bookkeeping. You may not understand profit and loss statement. You may not understand reconciling your bank statements. You may not understand a balance sheet. All of these financial documents or all of these terms are what is considered in understanding the numbers or the finances of your business. What is your income? What are your expenses for the month? How much does it cost for your business to keep the doors open? What is your gross profit? Meaning, what is the gross revenue? What is your gross profit or gross revenue? How much money comes in every single month? What is your net profit or net revenue? After all the money comes in, minus your expenses, what's that number left? A lot of times, we don't know these things. And not only do we not know these things, we don't have time to learn them. We're trying to, sell this last inventory so we can pay our rent. We're trying to come up with the money to keep the doors open. We're trying to come up with the money to pay our employees. We have our inventory stuck in customs and we have all these things on back order. We're trying to, transport this load, but, I'm dealing with a transmission issue on my truck. I'm dealing with a driver who has too many hours, so I can't use them. We are so consumed with being in our business, which is what we're doing, that we don't take the time to understand the finances of our business. So we're not doing our bookkeeping. We're not keeping track of our income and our expenses. We're running our business. Eventually, though, we're going to want to get some financing. Eventually, we're going to want to get a loan. And they're going to ask for your P&L statement and your profit and loss statement. Well, what is that? They're going to ask for your tax returns. Well, I haven't filed tax returns in 3 years. Or a lot of times we're just out of order, and we know we're out of order. Like, I'm out of order. I haven't filed my tax returns in 3 years, but I don't even have time to even go to my accountant to even hear him lecture me. I'm trying to keep the doors open. Then that 3 years of no tax returns turns to 4 years, and that 4 years turns to 5 years. Now it's like a big shitstorm. I don't even want to feel like peeling back the layers of how out of order I am, because I don't want to deal with this, right? So another mistake is we let the financial problems just fester and fester and fester, or we don't understand what we're supposed to be doing to keep up with our numbers. What is bookkeeping? What is the bookkeeping software we're supposed to be using? What is an accountant? What is a CPA? What is a bookkeeper? What is the difference between those? What do I need, right? So not understanding your numbers, meaning what's all the income? Do you have some kind of CRM system? How do you calculate how much money you made for the month? Or are you just, you have cash here, you got a credit card here, you got a Zelle here, you got a Cash App here, we got some money in our personal account, we got some money in our business account, we got some money in the mattress back at home. We're kind of just everywhere when it comes to our income. We don't know what the true income is of our business. These expenses, are we paying our expenses out of the business bank account, or are we paying some with cash and we're not keeping any receipts? So now it's time to, get a loan, or we have COVID number 2. We're trying to get some kind of, government funding, and they're asking, well, we need to see the income of the business. Well, that business bank statement may not represent the true income. You may have some money over in your personal Cash App account. You may have some money underneath your mattress. You may have gotten, if you're in a cash heavy business, so for nails, lashes, hair, barbershop, massage, people pay us cash, but we put that cash and put it in our pocket. Then when we go to dinner, we take that cash and pay for dinner. We go to Walmart, we take that cash and pay for our grocery bills. That cash never hit the business bank account. So now we're trying to finance a vehicle for our car. Now we're trying to go get a loan. Maybe we really are making 50 grand a month, but when we put on that business bank account, it says 30. Well, where's the missing 20? Well, I mean, in my Cash App, it's here, and I get paid cash. Well, in business, and say it's the same business rules as Walmart applies. The same rules for Walmart apply to you. Any kind of financing, your business bank statement is going to be your resume for your business. Whatever's in that business bank statement, that's how much money you're making. So if you really make 50 grand a month, but only 20 is ending up in the bank because maybe you're in a cash heavy business, well, then now you're already disqualifying yourself for funding. Now you're already disqualifying yourself, not because you purposely are trying to sneak and, hide from the government. You just really didn't know. I'm making the cash, I'm making the money, but you didn't know that, hey, everything has to hit that business bank account to get credit for it. So finding a bookkeeper, that understands business bookkeeping, finding an accountant or a CPA that works with small businesses, having a consultation with them for them to explain to you how you should be how do you keep your receipts? Like, how do you keep your income? How do you keep all of these things at the end of the year? You can give them to the professional to be able to do your numbers for you, okay? So those are I would say are the top 5 or top 6 common business mistakes. To fix your numbers, a POS system will help with that because it's tracking all of your income. You can run a report and say, okay, for October, I made X amount of money. Because every customer got an invoice, whether they pay cash or card. So you at least know all of your income. If you run everything through the business bank account, then your bank statements will show you all of your expenses. We don't pay for anything cash. If you have to pay for something cash because you're going to get some kind of discount on it, we got to keep our receipts, right? So especially if you're a guy, because guys are very unorganized, no shade, get you an envelope, right? Get you an envelope and keep that envelope in the console of your car or in the glove compartment of your car. Whenever you go somewhere and you buy something, just put that receipt in the envelope. You are going to get gas, get that receipt and put it in your envelope. You went out for a corporate meal, right on the back of that receipt, who was there and what about business was discussed, and put that in that envelope. Just put it in one thing that you keep all your stuff in. If you are at your office, keep you an envelope. Receipts, invoices come, you're buying product, just put everything in the envelope. A guide, don't even worry about organizing it. I would just rather you have the receipt. You can find you a bookkeeper. You're going to have to pay them more to sort through all those things. But at least you have all the receipts to hand them into a big box that, hey, here are my receipts. You already know you're going to pay them a little bit more to organize all these things. If you're a girl or an organized guy, have you some file folders with the different categories. Okay, so meals and entertainment, marketing, inventory, products, office supplies, travel, education, rent. And when you get those receipts, you're going to put those in the designated file folders. So when you then give your receipts to your CPA, your bookkeeper, your accountant, here's all my marketing. Here's all my payroll. Here's all my inventory costs. Here's all my office supplies. Here's all my travel. It's already organized. If you are high tech and can do computers, scan those receipts, and there are softwares called QuickBooks. There's software called FreshBooks, NetZero. These things will keep your, you can scan. Now, I'm paper and pen. I use my business tax planner to keep all my income. I'll show you. I have like spaces for income and expenses. I'm a dinosaur. I do everything old school, right? So, bam. I got something to track all my expenses in here. I got something to track my income for what it is every single month. I would rather write this down on this and then give this to monthly sales. Boom, boom, right? If you have if you want to scan your receipt and keep it in the cloud and underneath the category, that's another way to keep it. But you want to be able to have all these things, because we then now got to give all of this to our bookkeeper, CPA, or an accountant. A bookkeeper is going to be someone that just does your books. What are your books? Your books are going to be the numbers. So your business made all this income, and what different categories of the income come in, okay? What was cash? What was credit? What was, chargebacks, refunds, all that. All your expenses in the categories. We put the income minus your expenses. That tells you how much money you made at the end of the month. This report is going to be called a P&L statement or a profit and loss statement. Okay, so you got to have your profit and loss statement. You'll get these either monthly, and then you'll have an annual one. This P&L statement can be then given to your accountant or your CPA. On the flip side, if you want to just deal with one person and you can afford it, you can have your CPA do all of this for you. Okay. A CPA is going to run you a couple $100 an hour. A bookkeeper will be cheaper. It depends on where you are in business, what you can afford, and how complex your business is. Or if you have someone that's already good with numbers and they can work a QuickBooks system, they understand it, you can have someone keep the books for your business. Maybe your wife is good with this. Maybe your secretary is good with this. You can have someone keep the numbers, and then they will give your P&L statement to your CPA or your accountant. Your CPA, your accountant is still going to want to see your bank statements, because everything has to match or reconcile, right? Because whenever a CPA or an accountant is, doing the accounting, they are stamping, like putting their license on the accounting that, this is the real deal, Holyfield, right? So you're still going to have to give them access to your business bank statements to make sure that all what you're giving them matches. If you have a business, we are no longer on TurboTax. We are no longer at H&R Block. We are no longer at Jackson Hewitt, okay? We cannot be there if we own a business. If you own a business, that means that you can't be getting your personal taxes done at H&R Block, We cannot be getting our personal taxes done at Jackson Hewitt, and we are not doing our own personal taxes on TurboTax, okay? We need to have bookkeeping done. We need to have our P&L statement. We need to have a balance sheet. What are all the assets of the business? We need to reconcile our bank statements, what came in, what came out, and all of that has to be processed by a professional tax accountant. Okay, so we are past H&R Block, we are past Jackson and Hewitt, we are past a free TurboTax return. You're looking at paying anywhere between $500 and $1,000 now for a tax return once you become a business owner. But the tax return is part of your financials. Okay, this is going to be the foundation after your business structure for your business. When people are asking you, how much money are you making? You're wanting investors. How much are you making? You wanting to grow your business. How much money are you making after all your expenses? You got to know these numbers. Now, I've been there. Yeah, there's going to be a certain time when we're just trying to make something shake. I'm just trying to pay all my bills. I'm just trying to be able to, make this thing go. And we're in our business and we don't know our numbers. But eventually, we're going to have to come on out and understand our numbers or get the information we need to the bookkeeper, CPA, accountant, and then have that annual meeting. Hey, this year you did 20% less than what you did last year. I did less than I did last year. Well, what's going on? Maybe is it the industry? Is it, maybe we're underpricing our product? Maybe we have too much payroll. What is the issue? But if you don't know your numbers every single month, if we don't know our numbers every single year, if you aren't doing a comparison to, 2022, my numbers were this versus 2023, we are just in here on a hamster wheel. We're just in here, driving with a blindfold on, praying that, nothing happens, hoping I don't crash. And that's not how we run a business, okay? If you want to know what are some common tax deductions for your industry, I have a tax deduction guide on my website. If you're wanting something manual to be able to, put all your income, all your expenses, do your books manually, I have a business tax planner. I will put that in the link. Once again, there are software, QuickBooks, FreshBooks, NetZero that will do all this for you. You can find a bookkeeper. Taxes is federal. So your bookkeeper, your accountant, your CPA does not have to be in the state that you're in. If you are like, I need an in-person, like me, I need an in-person consultation because me and my CPA, we're going to have several meetings. I'm going to tell him, maybe run these numbers again. I'm going to go home, find some more receipts. Like maybe this is not the final number. Okay. This is not it. I need you to redo all this again, go back home, pray on it, think on it, and give me another number. So I'm the kind of person where I need to be able to put my hands on my CPA. I got to touch and feel. We got to argue. We got to go back and forth. I got to hear you tell me, Joy, stop playing with yourself. This is the final number. Write this check and get out of my office. But I got to have this rapport with my CPA, right? That's just me. I'm also going to come in, baby, with all these envelopes and my hand receipts. I don't have nothing scanned. I am just an old school kind of, client. You may have everything streamlined. You may be a tech person. You have all your, receipts categorized, in the cloud. You know how to work QuickBooks. All you got to do is email your CPA or accountant your P&L statement. They already have access to, see your bank statements online. They are reconciling your bank. They are doing so. If you're like that, you don't have to have a bookkeeper in your city. You can do any kind of bookkeeper because tax law is federal. They can also file your state return. The key point is we are with a bookkeeper and a CPA or an accountant. We are no longer at TurboTax, H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt. Okay, we have certain things that we have to follow for our numbers, and we are past these kind of tax professionals. We need someone that has an accounting degree or an accounting degree and a CPA license to now do our books. That's just going to be the cost of business in running a business. Okay, it is what it is. So making sure that our LLC is active, that we are filing our annual report, making sure that we're not running one LLC with a whole bunch of DBAs, because that way we are having multiple creditors be able to touch other business assets, and we don't want that. You want to make sure that we're not commingling funds. So business expenses are coming out the business account. Your personal expenses are coming out your personal account. We're not mixing the two. You want to make sure that we are having some kind of point of sale system to keep track of what our income is. We're invoicing all of our clients, and all the money for our business is coming into our business bank account. Not half is going to be in our personal Venmo, the other half is in Cash App. We got another stash underneath our mattress. Everything needs to be in the business bank account. We need to be at conferences, networking, seeing what is new. Am I pivoting this year? Am I weathering the storm this year? Am I growing this year? We need to be always growing ourselves as a CEO. We don't want to be a big fish in a small pond. We want to be a small fish in a big pond to be able to compete with the masses, compete with the industry leaders. And then last but not least, as a business owner, you have to know your numbers. We have to have the financials for our business. We have to have a profit and loss statement. We got to have a balance sheet. We got to have tax returns. We got to have these things so that we are operating just like Walmart. We're operating just like Sam's Club. We're operating just like these big businesses, because eventually we're going to be a big business. And once your business grows, you don't want to be denied financing because you don't have the tax returns. You don't want to be denied maybe a partnership or a joint venture because you don't have your P&L statement. Well, let me see what the numbers are. Oh, well, see, what happened was I didn't see all that. We are Walmart. We are a 7 or 8 figure business. So everything we do has to be in accordance with how Walmart would do their business. So if you don't have I will put in the caption a couple of CPA or accounting referrals, a bookkeeper if we're on a shoestring budget, or you need an accountant or a CPA if we are, a more complex business, but we have to have financials for your business, okay? So those are my 6 common business mistakes and how to fix them. If you want to book a consultation with me so I can kind of get you a game plan, how to kind of get all this stuff together, I will also put that link in the caption. It's also going to be in the bio. Everyone have an awesome Sunday night, and I will, of course, see you at the bank.